Morning everyone, this is the market right here on ET Now. I'm Avan Dabash and with me Nikunj Dalmia, and just taking stock of all that's going on across the globe then, and you clearly have US crude prices this week that have gained about 8%, 5% intraday trade to about $73.7 a barrel, and that's the third consecutive session of gains that you've seen on fears that Israel could potentially strike Iran's oil industry in retaliation to the ballistic missile that was made for Tehran. But that being said, you've got the US futures looking steady, but overnight the benchmark indices were in the spotlight as well, and you do have a lot of comments as well coming in from the US President Joe Biden talking about the possible Israel retaliation. So digesting all of those comments, we've clearly seen those oil supply fears. It seems to be that the GIFT Nifty as well is indicating that it could be a bit of a tempered start this morning. The Asian markets as well looking a little bit mixed, not including, of course, the Chinese markets, but the rest, for now, it's looking a little bit choppy for the Asian markets. Japanese shares gaining for the second straight day. But Nikunj, just taking stock of what we've witnessed with respect to crude oil prices, the kind of commentary coming in from Joe Biden, is this needs close monitoring?
Savan, there are three factors which we need to consider. Why we fell, where we are headed, and what we should do next. Now the why is easy to explain, why we fell. One side you were pushed because of geopolitical tensions. Second side, you were buffeted because of China. So the why is easy to understand. What are the extra, is there a fresh round of development in that why? China is shut, so obviously it's all about geopolitics. And that's where I think it's the US President Joe Biden who for the first time has indicated, which nobody was prepared for, discussing Israel striking Iran oil facilities. Which means the US is tilting towards supporting Israel openly. This is something which I don't think markets were prepared for or markets anticipated. What it appeared yesterday and when the initial strikes happened, that it would be a pinprick. But it appears that it could be much more than a pinprick. So on the geopolitical front, that is the second development which is important. That you got comment from US President. Then you look at the global setup. Even though you heard from the US President on possibility of a support to Israel, global financial markets have not gone into any kind of a tailspin. Yes, the bias may be negative, but it's not that Asia has completely fallen apart. It is not that US markets are down, and more importantly, S&P is moving in a measured manner. So that is important. And then you have the US jobs data, which in a sense would be the moving part. So if you analyze the why, there's one fresh development which is a bit of a bother on the oil front. But barring that, I would say it's not a very scary scenario. But what we'll have to discuss is that FI number. I mean, I looked at the FI number both in terms of quantum, in terms of...
There comes a time when your heart calls for you to arise. Plant your feet solid into the ground. Decide your own limits. And then break right through them. Become something more. It's my time to rise.